Let's look at some cards that make games of Commander more exciting by incentivizing combat. Coveted Jewel. 6 mana, artifact. When this artifact enters, draw 3 cards. Tap, add 3 mana of any one color. Whenever one or more creatures an opponent controls attack you and aren't blocked, that player draws 3 cards and gains control of this artifact. Untap it. There isn't a card in all of Commander that makes me more excited when it hits the battlefield than Coveted Jewel. There's no one at the table that can resist cards and mana. Even your friend who never wants to attack anyone is going to attack with their creatures to try to gain control of Coveted Jewel. So the way I like to play this card is more of a political thing, where you basically let the person attack you. Like, hey, it's okay, you can attack me with your 1/1 creature and gain control of the jewel. I want them to have control of it because I want my other opponents to attack them for it, because that takes away some of the heat from me, but also it gets the whole table involved. And while some people dislike this kind of strategy of allowing your opponents to have additional resources, something like Coveted Jewel is more interesting because your opponents actually have to attack each other to gain control of it. And this is casual Commander, and please forgive me for saying this, but it's okay to have fun. Kain, Traitorous Dragoon. 3 mana, 2 and a black, legendary creature, human knight, 2/4. Jump. During your turn, Kain has flying. Whenever Kain deals combat damage to a player, that player gains control of Kain. If they do, you draw that many cards, create that many tapped treasure tokens, then lose that much life. Kain was one of the first cards I ordered when the Final Fantasy set was released, because not only am I a fan of Final Fantasy IV, but I knew Kain would make a perfect fit in my Queen Marchesa deck, which is based around incentivizing our opponents to go to combat and participating in the game. It's also the inspiration for this video. However, my first play experience with Kain was not from my own deck, it was actually from my friend's Knight's deck, and honestly, Kain far exceeded my expectations. It was such a fun experience, and everyone was willing to take damage and lose life because it's so tempting to draw cards and make treasures. With that said, after Kain's power had been modified, people were less willing to openly want to take the attack from Kain, but that doesn't matter necessarily because you have flying on Kain during your turn, so you just find a good attack, you lose some life, you draw your cards, make your treasures, and if their life is low and they don't want to use it, oh well, I guess the game's coming to an end soon anyway. And finally, any card that introduces the Monarch to the game. The Monarch draws a card at the beginning of their end step. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to the Monarch, its controller becomes the Monarch. And once the Monarch is introduced to the game, it will remain for the duration of the game. People love the Monarch because it progresses the game by incentivizing players to deal combat damage to each other, because not everyone wants to see the first attack of the game on turn 10. Coveted Jewel, Kain, and the Monarch all incentivize players to attack each other for resources. They lead to a lot of fun political deals and a lot of combat that might not have happened if it weren't for the incentives they're providing. And I understand that in a 4-player game where you have 3 opponents, there are going to be times where the thought of giving your opponent's resources seems like the worst thing you could do. But I think it's all about having fun and enjoying the game, and honestly you can use that as a distraction at times to go ahead and carry out your plan, because people are too busy focusing on fighting for the specific resources that they might not be paying attention as much to the thing that you're doing. So there is some strategic value in giving your opponents resources. And also, these aren't simply group hug cards. Your opponents have to attack each other to get the benefits. Let me know in the comments down below how you feel about combat incentives. Until next time, thanks for watching.